Hello and good evening. I thought today we'd have a look at some Class 25s. This is not going to be a loco review. We're going to be having a look at a company called The Weathering Works. So let me get these out. This is a pristine model, no weathering. Then we have a factory weathered model. So these are all Class 25s, virtually identical. You know, that one is the newest tooling, but they're all very similar. And then we have a pro weathered version. This has been weathered by The Weathering Works over in Nottingham. I just thought we would do a review of see how good The Weathering Works is. I have a couple of these models by them, so let me just put this there. And I also have a Class 24 that we'll have a look at as well. So all these have been heavily weathered to reproduce the 1970s, and I use these on diesel depot layouts, roughly based in that sort of era. And The Weathering Works obviously is exactly what they say they do, the weather models, and you can have them weathered to how you like it, you know, so you can send them back, send your model back to them, and then they would weather it. It could be light weathered, it could be heavy weathered like these, and you just sort of state exactly how you want it. They do N-gauge as well, so it's quite a good company. There are obviously other companies out there that do weathering, and you know, and different companies on, you know, different parts of the world that will do this weathering. Also, you can have a go yourself, use some weathering powders and some small bit of airbrushing and weathering powders, and then seal it with some lacquer, and you'll get similar sort of results. But it is hard to get, because they've been doing it for quite a long time, and obviously they know how to get the results that they, you know, that we all want. So we're going to have a look at all these up on a white background, just to do a comparison with all the three variants, and then you can sort of decide if that, you know, if you wanted heavy weathered models for your layout, you know, you could always send them off to one of these services, or even have a go yourself. When I've done it myself, they've never turned out quite as good as the pro weathering. So it is up to you. You know, if you mess the loco up, it's not the end of the world, because it's your loco and you can clean them all off and again. But if you wanted to sell it and it's not been done that well, it's going to be a struggle to sell. So just be aware of that if you are coming to it, have a go at weathering. I mean, Class 25 Bachmann ones are actually really good value second hand, so they make excellent, really good models to have a go at. Also, you can have a go at the Lima ones. So there's plenty of cheaper models out there just to practice on before you went on to one of your really expensive Acura scale or something like that. I don't have any Acura scale or anything, so these really are where I am. Anyway, let's go to the white background and have a look at that. So I thought we'd do a comparison really. So we've got the complete unweathered version there. So obviously everybody does know what all these do look like, but just thought I'd give you a comparison. Then we have a factory finished weathered. So as you can see, it's quite an even weathering really, mainly airbrush. We don't really have a great deal on the front or anything like that, and majority of it is on the bogies and the running gear. And then we have The Weathering Works, which is a very heavily weathered locomotive. There's a lot of dirt on the roof as well. You get all the streaks coming down. And if we have a look at, you'll see that we do have the weathering around the front as well. And they sort of specialise in getting this really 1970s, sort of 1980s almost diesel depot. So if you're running a diesel depot or anything like that, having a loco that looks like this is really good. Obviously there's techniques to getting the weathering like this, and obviously there's a lot of people that out there that do this. I'm not as good at getting it quite as good as some of these professionals. I do have a go, but mine don't always look as quite right. But there obviously are lots of these companies out there that do this service as well. So it is having a look around. I'm not saying this is the one to use, but I do like them, and they have a few models available, so you can buy ready. But like I say, they do offer a service, so you can set it off, get them weathered. So I've showed you the 3 Class 25s that I have, all in the 3 different stages. Okay, let's zoom in and just have a look at all the detail on how well it's been weathered. So as you can see, it is in a very dirty condition. And what we'll do is we'll have a look back at the factory weathered one, so you can compare the difference. So we have the factory weathered finish I should say. So you can see this is a lot lighter weathering. It's mainly just on the underframe. And we don't have much on the roof at all, if virtually any weathering. Okay, that's the Class 25s. And this is the only other locomotive I have that has been done by the Weathering Works, and this is a Class 24. So very similar sort of level of weathering on this one. As you can see, I've gone for the very heavy weathered look. And you can see there's a lot more weathering on the front of this locomotive. It always pays to fit the indicator disc before it's weathered as well, as you obviously want those to sort of show, otherwise they will be very clean. And these are all excellent runners as well, so there's absolutely no problems. So if you did buy a second-hand one off him, he will say whether it's a boxed or not, and he always makes sure that they're tested and good runners. I hope you have found this video useful, and hopefully it may inspire you to get some models weathered, or even have a go at weathering yourself if you feel confident enough. I can do some of the weathering, but it's not as good as some of these professionals that do it. But you've also got to remember, a pro weathered model may not be for everybody, so if you did want to sell it at a later date, it will not suit everybody's taste. So people like the factory finished ones, so sometimes they'll just want the factory weathered, or they'll want a pristine, so they can do their own weathering and have it how they like it. But I wish you a very good evening, and I'll see you on the next video.